Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm again just doing this through a third party live stream software called StreamYard. So in order to pin a comment, I have to actually go to YouTube. So bear with me here for a second, but I wanted to do a live with you guys real quick. If you guys have any questions about a, sorry guys, sorry, and then I'm gonna pin this. Pin message. Okay. Go ahead and like and follow me on Facebook. I'm trying to grow there. Sweet. Thanks. Okay. So if you guys have any questions about eBay in general, about business in general, about my personal life, if you guys want to ask any question about anything, I'm happy to answer that. I wanted to talk about a category that I've sold, I think, 4 of them just today. It's a category that a lot of people don't really necessarily want to get into because they're afraid of shipping and things breaking and stuff. But that is receivers and VCR players and things like that. So today just today, I sold a GE VHS player for $35 plus $20 in shipping. I sold a remote. I sold a broken DVD and VCR Magnavox recorder for $35 plus $17 in shipping. That was broken. I sold a Sony 5-disc player for $45 plus $25 in shipping. And then I sold a Yamaha receiver for $219 plus $64 shipping. So I know a lot of people don't want to dive into those big vintage electronics that sell for, they sell for good money, but they're hard to package, they're hard to ship, they're hard to test. But if you learn how to do all these things, like I don't know, already made like $350 just with those types of items just today, and the day isn't even over. There's still plenty of hours left in the day. So I would highly recommend not being afraid to ship those bigger items. A lot of people, I talk about in my TikToks and on my short form videos, that a lot of people, especially in my town, they leave those items behind because they're afraid to ship them. And I literally make tens of thousands of dollars a month off of them. So I would highly recommend to not be afraid to ship VCR players and DVD combo players and receivers, subwoofers. I think I've sold like $9,000 worth of subwoofers this year. Like subwoofers, man. A lot of money to be had in all of these vintage electronics and modern electronics as well. But they are. I'll make a video on this subject because there is a lot of money to be had in it. So I'll make a video on how to test them, how to package them, how to ship them. I also do the majority of my testing in the thrift store. I'll go more into this in an actual dedicated video, but you can just get a TV that's for sale, and you also get the VCR player, and then they usually have the wires, and then you can just connect everything and test it right there in the thrift store to see if all the major functions work. So I'll do a video on all that stuff, but don't be afraid to ship those items. So I know I only talked for about 3 minutes. There's already 25 people in here. Thank you guys so much for coming out. We don't have a ton of questions yet. If you guys would like to ask me anything eBay related, business related, anything about my personal life, my wife is playing her first soccer game of the season in 2 hours. So I'm really excited about that. We're just going to wrap this up in 1 hour, and then I'm going to head to my wife's first soccer game of the season. Super pumped for that. But yeah, if you guys have any questions about eBay, business, anything like that, put them in the chat and we can talk about it. And also, I would really appreciate a like and follow on my Facebook page. I have it pinned in the comment section. I'm growing pretty quickly on YouTube and TikTok, and Instagram is all right. But for whatever reason, I just suck at growing on Facebook. So I'd really appreciate a like and follow there. So We virtually have no questions, so we might just be wrapping this up in 2 minutes. But if you guys want to ask some questions, we'll go ahead and get into that. Masters Maniac Mexico is ready to rumble. James says hello. Hey, how's it going? How do you send out offers? Only the plain number, or do you use the description? And if what is it that you mentioned? So every morning when I wake up, I typically have anywhere from 30 to 45 offers to send out. So I'll show you guys right here. So you see right there, probably not, but you see right there how it says 11 send offer to buyers. So usually when I wake up right there, I have about 30 to 45 offers to send. So I don't do it from the app. I go to my internet web browser. So I'm here on my phone. I type in ebay.com and then I pull up my account. And then it shows right now that I have listings eligible to send offers. I have 11. So I open that up and then I select all of them and I select send offer. And then I send 15% offers. Now 15% offers just went to 11 watchers on my 11 items. So when I do that, I wake up in the morning and I have about those 30. And then around lunchtime, I have like another 30 or so. And then right before I go to bed, I have another 30 or so. So every time that I see that I have about 20 offers, I send a 20% off offer to everyone watching my items. You do store reviews. Yeah, so I feel like store reviews isn't the most productive thing for me or for my subscribers. I've done 1 or 2 before, and I see other YouTubers do it as well. And a lot of people, they get the store review, and then it's just kind of like giving a fish instead of teaching them how to fish. So I think the best thing that you can do is keep watching YouTube videos, keep trying to figure it out for yourself. Because I've done a store review, and then I checked on the store a week later, and it looked exactly the same. So I don't really do too many store reviews because I feel like I'm not teaching anyone anything, even though I'm doing a really good job explaining how and why people's things aren't selling. If I tell someone exactly what to do, they don't do it. So I don't do store reviews because people don't actually take action. So I recommend that people actually watch YouTube videos, do the research themselves. Because I have people ask me how to list shirts all the time. And I say, yeah, I have a video that in the first 20 seconds of the video, it shows you exactly how to list them. And like, if I type it out for you, you're still probably not going to do it anyway. So it's best to just actually put that fishing pole in the water and really improve your store every day. Pop Tab says, I am a noob. What is the consensus? Should we wash thrift store clothes? I have listed 25 items and sold 4 in the last 4 days. Again, I'm a noob. Hey, that's good. Four sales. That's those are some solid numbers. Keep those up. So I can't speak for all thrift stores, but my thrift store in town and all of them that I typically go to, the Deseret Industries, they really wash all their clothes. So I don't. And like if a article of clothing sits on a rack for more than 2 weeks, it gets out of there. They give it to another thrift store. They do away with it in whatever means they have. So I don't wash any of the clothes that I get from my thrift store. I just clip the tags off and then I list them. Just joined. What's the category selling well? It is vintage electronics like VCR players, VHS and DVD combo players, receivers, subwoofers. I sold like 5 of those just today. Jeff P says, recommendations for a newbie that has an enormous death pile but hasn't listed anything yet. Yeah, stop buying things and list. So don't go to thrift stores or yard sales for the next 2 weeks. Wake up every day and list from your pile and be disciplined and don't go shopping. Just keep listing. How much of your inventory is sourced online? How often do you use saved searches? Every single day. I'd say probably 15% of my store are items that I bought online. The rest of them, and then like maybe 5% are from yard sales, and then 80% are from thrift stores. Hello from Arkansas. Sales are picking up. Finally, that's what I'm talking about. I know it's Arkansas. It's just a joke. No, yeah, good. That's good. The people are getting more sales and everything's rolling. They've added bulk and offers in the app now. Yeah, but I still just like to use the. There's a lot more information on the actual seller hub in the desktop version when you look it up on Google Chrome. So that's what I use. Enjoy watching your program. The new eBay promotions program is confusing. Do you understand it? They raise the rate according to what other people are doing. So people want to stay ahead of the fold, ahead of their competitors, so they'll raise it a little bit. And then because your competitor's raising a little bit, if you do the dynamic promotion rate, then your items will start to raise as well. So I don't use the dynamic promoted listing. I have a flat rate promoted listing across my whole store, which is 2.6%. Every single time that I list an item, it gets listed at a 2.6% rate. So I don't recommend using the dynamic at all. They changed it for mobile, so you can select all send offers too now. Yep. Thanks for the info. Agreed. The improvements to the app have helped a lot. I currently have 450 listed and about 370 sold. It's amazing numbers. Been actively listing roughly 75 days. That's really good. Yep. Keep that up. Having 450 listed and 370, and it sounds like you're growing. So those are amazing numbers for a growing store. So keep that up and you will be very glad that you decided to do this job or side hustle or whatever it is that you're doing. Do they wash them with the new tags? So if they're new, then they don't wash them because they're new. Good evening, everyone. Greetings from Canada. Hey, welcome in, Josh. Josh does a advanced reseller. Do you call it advanced eBay? I think it's advanced eBay live every day, depending on your time zone, around noon. So go ahead and check out, give his channel some love. Are you doing anything now for Q4? People are already talking about it. Yeah, so I do the same thing every single day in my store, whether it's Q1, 2, 3, or 4. If I buy a jacket in January, I list it. If I buy a jacket in August, I list it. If I buy a Hawaiian shirt in January, I list it. If I buy a Hawaiian shirt in August, I list it. So I list 20 items from my draft bank every single day of my life, no matter what. And when I get items, I list them. So my day-to-day doesn't change because I just do a ton every day, no matter what. And it really works out for me because it doesn't matter what time of the year it is. I'm not emotional about my store because I do the same amount of work every single day. And I just slowly increase that rate of work over time. So I'm not affected by summer slowdown because I put in the work every single day of the year to be ahead of the curve. If that answers your question. Hey, all, lurking while I'm cooking dinner. I learned too much here not to. Hey, that's what I'm talking about. Thanks, D. What are you cooking for dinner today? What do you use to track your profits, losses, and expenses? I use the eBay Seller Hub. They give you all the advanced information that you need on your profits and your expenses as far as shipping and fees. And then I just have a business credit card and a business bank account. So every single time I make a purchase at the thrift store, it automatically shows up in my credit card statements and is sent to my accountant every single day. So it is very easy to keep track of because all the money that I make from eBay goes to a business account and nothing else goes to that account. And every single purchase I make for my business is on one credit card. And I don't make any other business purchases on any other cards, and I don't make any non-business purchases on that card. So it is extremely, extremely easy to keep track of everything that I'm doing. And I really recommend that for everyone. I recommend having a separate bank account for your eBay business, and I recommend having 1 or 2 business credit cards that you use for your business. The reason why I recommend 2 is because I personally have a credit card that I get times 3 points for shipping and times 3 points for dining. And then I have another card where I get times 5 points on one non-shipping category. So I have my business card that gets times 3 points for the shipping that I use to buy all of my product and to do my shipping. And then I have my times 5 card that I use for all travel expenses. And my wife and I do a lot of traveling, and you just got to go to a thrift store, and then it's a business expense. Jeff P says, okay, my plan is to report back in 2 weeks and tell you how much I've listed. No more buying. That's what I'm talking about, Jeff. Really good on you to ask for advice, actually listen to it, and then actually do it. So you're going to do well in this business. Just keep it up. But also realize that I'm just a guy on YouTube. Other people that do YouTube are just people on YouTube. So you need to take all of our advice with a grain of salt, and you need to do what's best for your business. You need to take what J Ride Flip says and contrast it against what other big YouTubers say, and then take their advice and contrast it against what other YouTubers say, and then make sure you're doing the best for what is the best for what's, wow, this is a tongue twister. You got to do what's best for you, your family, and your business. There's a lot of things that work for me because of my personality, because of my location, because of what I have been taught, and because of my upbringing, that may not be as beneficial for someone who has all those different factors as well. But I truly believe that if you listen to my channel and if you listen to some other really great channels, you're going to do really well when it comes to reselling in general. So thanks everybody for being here. Again, if you guys have any questions, put them in the chat. And then I would really appreciate a follow and a like on my Facebook page, which is linked in the chat. For whatever reason, I really suck at growth on Facebook, so I have to artificially inflate it through my YouTube channel, and I really appreciate everyone doing that and being here. So thank you so much. I am intrigued by the credit card rebates you have been earning. Yeah, so I do videos on that, and they do terribly. So if you ever have any other questions, you can reach out to me individually, because not a lot of people want to hear about that, I guess. I heard on a podcast that it's better to not list if you don't have good items to list. Thoughts? Absolutely. If you list garbage, no one's going to buy garbage. But if you list one iPhone, it's better to list one iPhone than to list 4,000 DirecTV remotes, because DirecTV remotes do not sell, but iPhones do. So yeah, I would definitely list quality over quantity. I would personally, the advice that I give is find a combination of quality and quantity. List as much quality as you can. Thanks for the shout out. Hey, of course, Josh. Everyone go check out Josh Gall. He's a good guy. That is a very good idea. I think I will join your title listing challenge. That's what I'm talking about. Get it done. Heaven Sent Smoky Channel. Good to see you back here. Says, hey, J-Ride, taking photos while listening to your live. Hey, thanks for showing up and supporting. Really appreciate that, guys. That is the best way to listen to lives is while you're working. So it's something that I've done my whole eBay career, and I'll continue to do so. So thanks, man. Flippin' for Change says, hey, Shalom, y'all, back from 2 weeks on vacay and feeling like eBay is punishing me for time away, taking advantage of this slow time to adjust and tweak listings. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, so it's not necessarily eBay punishing you. It's the law of consistency that's punishing you. Consistency, doing the right thing every day, you will be rewarded. Consistently not doing the right things every day, you will be punished. That's not eBay. That's capitalism. So be consistent in everything you do. And yep. And then James is saying consistency is key, right along with me. So yeah, no, flip and change. Just saying what you're saying sounds like you got a good head on your shoulders and you got a good game plan. So I have full confidence in you. Let's get it. Hello to all listening. Hey, thanks for being here, Texas Lady. Christopher Nutter says hi. Hey, Chris, I was just seeing on your Instagram that you were listing some toy figures. That a purple dragon thing looked pretty sick. So hopefully that sells quick for you. Now, are there any tips you can give about collection fashion like Christian LaCroix, Lagerfeld, etc.? Nope, because I don't know what those are. But let me look them up and see if I have any words of advice. Actually, I think I have sold. I think they have some sunglasses that I've sold. Sunglasses. Oh yeah, I've sold a pair of their sunglasses. Yeah, the advice that I have for those two brands is the advice that I have for Travis Matthew, Tommy Bahama, every single brand in the world. List it the exact way that you would list those items as well. I'm currently trying to get 5 a day. Nice. Sometimes those 5 are small profit remotes or shirts. Other times it's high profit items. Should I mix them up or change to a listing profit goal instead? Again, just do whatever is best for you. A lot of people say they like to list the same amount of items, or some people say they like to list the same value. I like to do the same amount of items because generally I get relatively the same profit for every item. Even though I'm very diversified in $100 profit items, $20 profit items, $9 profit items, but you generally just pick up the same amount of things that sell for the same amount every day. But like if you have a goal to list $500 worth of product, that could be 87 remotes and it could just be one subwoofer. And I would never recommend listing 87 remotes on Monday and then one receiver on Thursday. So I personally am in the camp of the same amount of listings every single day. Which card do you use? If you do sign up for it, it would be cool if you used my link so we could both get some Sky Mile points. So it's a card that's a little harder to obtain. I think you have to have an excellent credit score, which I believe is above 680, or you have to have a EIN business number, which means you have an LLC or an S corporation. It is the Chase Freedom Inc. Preferred. If you go to my live called eBay paid for my trip to Hawaii on my channel, there's a link in the description that takes you right to that card. And if you sign up, then I think I get 100,000 Sky Miles, which is like a trip for two from California to New York with a hotel and a rental car. So that's pretty dope. I have a total of 393 items as of today. I have sold 112 items so far. I started in April. Watching your videos helped me a lot. Hey, those are some good numbers too. Especially you have to take into consideration when you're in growth mode. So I think that you should always be shooting for a 1% sell-through rate. So that means if you have 100 items, you sell one a day. And if you consistently have 100 items in your shop, then after 100 days, you would have sold 100 items. I like to shoot for a 1% sell-through rate. So that means if every 90 days. So if I have 2,000 items listed, I like to sell 2,000 items every 90 days. But if you're growing your business, then you are intentionally listing more than you are selling. So don't get caught up in like J Ride Flips and Day of the Refinement and all these other channels are saying I have to have a 1% sell-through rate. That's a place where you want to get to. But when you're growing and you're doing that intentionally, it's impossible to have that 1% sell-through rate because your store will be staying the same or it will be shrinking, but you have a goal of growing. So I probably didn't make a ton of sense there, but I hope that made sense. How do you decide between auction and buy it now for items? I do not use auction whatsoever. So think about it this way. If I want to buy, I'm just looking around here. If I want to buy a golf club, then I'm going to look it up on eBay and I'm going to buy the golf club. If I look, so if here's a golf club, for example. If I look up a Powerbuilt EX550 golf club sand wedge, and I see that one is listed right now for $49, which is actually, I'm probably going to list this for $39. If I see one is listed for $39 and then I see that another one is on auction and it's at $17, but it doesn't end for 4 days, me, along with the majority of Americans, are just going to buy this one for $39 because we don't want to wait 4 days, possibly have you cancel on me, possibly have you wait 3 or 4 days to ship it, and then have it take 3 or 4 days to get to me. So when people buy off of auctions, they usually get, and this is, they usually get 70% of what something is worth. So if I put this up on auction, I will most likely, if it's a high sell-through rate, if I want to sell it for 40, buy it now, and it's a high sell-through rate item, which this isn't a super high sell-through rate golf club, but most golf clubs are. If I put it up for auction, I will probably only get $27 plus shipping for it because someone was willing to wait for a deal. But if you put something on auction and thinking you're going to get more than a buy it now price, people will just do the buy it now price for the cheaper option and the immediate shipment. So I hope that makes sense. So I don't do buy it now. I mean, I don't do auctions whatsoever. I think in my first year of eBay, I did like 4 auctions, and then I haven't done an auction since. 7 free flights a year on business credit card. Yep, that's what we're doing here, and it's pretty awesome. I love it. I'm not. A lot of people like get pissed off when I say this, but I'm not like huge on travel. Like my goal is to like sleep in my own bed like 320 times a year or more if possible. I just really like, I'm a really family oriented guy. I really like having a routine and doing the same sort of thing every single day. That's why I really like this job, because I wake up, take my dog for a walk, go thrifting, come home, list items, do YouTube content, pretty much same every day. Go on a hike at night if I want to, go golfing if I want to, do whatever I want. But I have the opportunities to travel a lot because of these business cards. So if you guys get to a point where I am or past me, which is the goal of this channel, I want everyone to make a ton of money reselling on eBay. When you get to a point when you're sending out 20 or 25 packages every single day and you're using a ×3 points credit card, you don't know what to do with those points eventually. So it's awesome. So my wife and I are currently saving up points to go to Greece. That'll probably cost us like 400,000 points, but I get 100,000 points from that card, like probably every 60 days or so. So that's 2 months. So it'll take us about 8 months to save up for a Greece trip that'll be paid for with a credit card, with credit card points. So not my money. Is there a card you recommend if you can? Yeah. So it would definitely be what I would do. Okay. So I have an S Corp, which means, sorry guys, my dog is wanting to go out. So the majority of you guys that are selling are doing it under what's called a sole proprietorship, which means you don't have an EIN number. You don't even have a business name. You're just a guy or a gal online selling items. And then you report that money to the IRS and you pay taxes on them. Now, if you want a little more protection against liability and a few ways to have a couple more write-offs and things of that nature, then you would start what's called an LLC, which is a limited liability company. So if you owned a concrete company, for example, and one day you were doing a huge job and then someone walked through your concrete and broke their leg, you would be liable for that. And if you were a sole proprietorship, oh man, your financial life could possibly be over. But if you're an LLC, if I was the concrete guy in this example, they can't sue Jake Ryder. They can only sue J-Ride Concrete LLC. So I would be protected and the business would be liable. Now, once you start making too much money, once you start making a ton of money in the LLC, you have to pay a ton of personal income tax, which sucks. So there's a workaway around that, and there's a ton of other benefits for an S corporation. So under an S corporation, you can have multiple LLCs, multiple businesses, a ton of different things that all work within a network. And you can also become the CEO of your company and pay yourself a paycheck. So for example, let's say that I made $1 million in profit this year. I'm not going to make $1 million in profit, just so you guys know, just for the example. If I were to make $1 million in profit as a sole proprietor, then I would have to pay 40% tax on that. And of course, like I would minus like my gas and on all that stuff. But technically, with all those deductions, that's you pay your taxes on your profit, and the deductions are supposed to get you to your actual profit, right? So if I made $1 million profit as a sole proprietorship, I would probably pay like 43% in taxes. So I'd give $430,000 to the government, which would suck. But as an S corp, I can be the CEO of my company, and then J-Ride Flips would make $1 million profit, and I would pay myself a reasonable salary, which with the position that I hold, the work that I do, the area that I live, I could say is about $75,000 a year. So I would pay myself $75,000, and then I would pay taxes on that $75,000, which in that bracket would only be probably about 22%. So I'd save a ton of money on taxes. And then that other $925,000 worth of profit can be moved around into real estate, into buying equipment for the business, into advertising, into a lot of different things. And it would be taxed at a much lower rate because it's a corporation. Yeah. So huge tangent there, but I don't even know how I got here. Jeez Louise. But I think what I was going to say is, so under my S corporation, I think in November, I'm going to start a new LLC called J-Ride Media. And a lot of you guys have like questions about credit cards and about real estate investing, which I don't know a ton on, but I'm learning more and more and more. And I know a lot about budgeting and finance and things like that. No expert, obviously, but like, neither is Stephen Graham. So honestly, neither is Dave Ramsey. Like he's good saver, good investor, whatever, but like no one's truly an expert. So I was thinking about making a J-Ride Flips media company and then expanding also. I have J-Ride Flips. I also really love basketball cards. So I was also thinking about making another YouTube channel called J-Ride Rips, where you rip open packages of basketball cards and look for them. And I also want to do a J-Ride Finance, where I teach you guys about credit cards and things like that as well. So, man, I don't know how I got there, but to answer your question, the one that I recommend is what we just talked about earlier, which is the Chase Preferred Ink. So yeah, sorry guys, that was a huge tangent. Second question, if I found that vest from the 2000 collection, I found it a very valuable piece of fashion, but I am not sure if I can sell it on eBay as it is made with rabbit fur. You can sell. I sell alligator shoes all the time. I sell ostrich wallets. There's nothing holding you back from selling animal skin on eBay. Hi, Jake. Happy to catch another one of your lives. Thank you. I believe you mentioned before researching what's selling in your area. How do you do that? Search by zip code and go down to each category. Yeah, so that's the daily refinement and tech and sports method. I don't think you need to do it zip code specifically. There are items everywhere. What I do is I type in sunglasses, for example, and then I filter to items that have sold for a minimum of $30. And then I take a look at the brands that pop up. I can go more into that if that didn't make sense. If I only have 250 items listed, is it worth paying for a monthly store subscription? If so, what is the benefits? No. So if you just stay at 249, then it doesn't make sense to have the store subscription. Even if you're like 277, you're going to pay 10 cents a month for those. In this example, 277, you're going to pay an extra 10 cents every single month for those 27 items, which ends up being $2.10. Once you have 301, now it becomes optimal to get that basic store subscription to save 10 cents per month. Now, if you have 1,000 items, then eBay is going to be charging you 10 cents per item over 250, which is 750 every single month. So they're going to be charging you $75. So now it makes more sense to get the premium store, which I believe is $59.99. So hope that makes sense. Do summer items with tags sell well during the winter, like as gifts, or does it only sell during springtime? Everything sells during the winter because of Christmas. So and again, not everything. If you put up dog poop on the internet, it's not going to sell during Christmas. But everything that sells during the summer also sells during the winter because of Christmas and because of tax season. But not everything that sells during the winter sells during the summer, because that is where people typically don't buy as many items for others or themselves, which I talk about a lot on my channel, as you guys know. 1 foot flipper, just shipping and listening. That's what I'm talking about. Thanks for being here, man. 93 of you guys are here. That's awesome. Those are some good numbers. I thought that it was going to be a little down today because of the good old FlipCon. I personally love all those guys out there. I love Harry Tornado and his wife Haley. I almost said and his Josh Haley. That's funny. I love Commonwealth Picker, American Arbitrage. ADH Dave, he's all right. Nah, I'm just kidding. That was just a jab at him because of that's how they talk to each other on Trash to Cash podcast. But everyone listening, if you guys haven't heard of Let's Do Lunch podcast, hosted by Angie Resells and a Rural Squirrel, tomorrow at noon Central, they will be releasing a podcast where they interviewed me. So if you want to check that out, I'll also be posting links tomorrow morning about it. But yeah, we just talked for like an hour about reselling, and they kind of interviewed me and then asked some questions. A lot better than the Trash to Cash podcast, that's for sure. I do listen to several YouTubers, but I give you a little more credit because we both know who Russell M. Nelson is. LOL. Oh, Jeff P, are you a Mormon? Russell M. Nelson is the prophet of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and that's the church that I pertain to. That's funny. Master Maniac Mexico says, I maybe found the reason why you are struggling on Facebook, as I actively try to follow you there, but I can't figure it out. Seems that I can like the page but not follow it. Interesting. Yeah. Well, all I know is a bunch of people are making a ton of money on Facebook. And it's a not super tapped into market that a lot of YouTubers know about. So I'm trying to get ahead of the game. What your split on store clothing versus hard good? I have 2,500 items, and this might not be the most accurate. Okay, I have 2,489 items. I'm just going to type in shirt. And I thought that was going to show how many I had at the bottom. I believe I have, wait, let me see if on desktop it'll give me the number. Bear with me here. I'm going to my active listings and I'm typing in shirt. Shirts I have, sorry guys, 1 second. Shirts I have 721 listed. So 720 shirts. And then pants I have 11. So I have about, and then is jackets? Yeah, let's type in jacket too. Jacket, I have 60. So we'll say 800. So I have 2,500 active items. 800 of them are clothing. And then let's do shoes too while we're at it. Shoes, I've got 55. Wow, I only have 55 shoes listed. It's pretty good because I buy a decent amount of shoes, so I must have a really good sell-through rate on them. Go me. Yeah, so about 900 when you include shoes. And if you include sunglasses, then we're going to get way over 1,000. I have the same issues. I do DVDs one day, then jean bags another day. I am also trying to be consistent. I am unsure if eBay differentiates between category types. Yeah, so there's this rumor that if you want to sell clothes, you have to list the same amount of clothes every day. If you want to sell remotes, you have to sell the same amount of remotes every day. And I disagree with that. I could be wrong, but I mean, in my own anecdote and personal experience, sometimes I will go 2 weeks without listing remotes and I still get like 2 or 3 remote sales every single day. So I think it just matters on how active you are with listing in general. So I don't think you have to do, if you like sell in like 3 or 4 categories, I don't think you have to do 5 hats, 5 jackets, 5 remotes, and 5 coffee makers. Coffee, is that what they're called? Coffee makers? Coffee. That's so weird. I feel like I'm saying that wrong. It's a coffee maker, right? I don't think you have to list 5 coffee makers every single day to sell one. You know what I mean? So I think it just matters how many items you're listing every day. What would you be doing if you weren't a full-time flipper? Doing some other dumb business. I hate this word, but I'm an entrepreneur at heart. So I wrote them all down yesterday. I have run 27 different businesses. 16 of them have utterly failed. Like 7 of them have done pretty well, and then 4 of them have done amazing. So it would just be on to the next thing. I don't know. Maybe I'd buy a little structure and start selling snow cones or something. I don't know. I'd be doing something for myself, that's for sure. Finally made a live. Hey J-Ride. Hey, nice to see you, Patriot Girl. Thanks for hopping in. I just liked your Facebook. What else do you need over there? Nope, just that. If you can also follow, I think that helps too. But no, yeah, thanks for liking the Facebook page. That's awesome. And then if you have a TikTok and you want to follow me over there too, that's great. Let's check out TikTok. TikTok is fun. I don't personally like TikTok. I feel like it's a huge time waste, but for the majority of people, but like it's making me some money, so I'm happy to be on it. If you find an item at the thrift store and don't see a flaw until listing it, do you list it as is or redonate? Yeah, I list it and I just point at the flaws and adjust my price accordingly. My video that comes out at 8 tonight is all about never ever using auction format. Yep. Yeah, I'm not an auction guy personally either. So now you don't have to watch One Flipper's video. You already know what it's about. I already went over it. So everyone make sure you go unsubscribe from One Foot Flipper because he's just regenerating J-Wright's content and he's a con artist. Totally kidding. Everyone go show One Foot Flipper some love. He's a cool guy. I wonder if someone may know of a good light box for taking pictures of small items, jewelry, pocket knives, etc. I use the small LED lights, but lighting is not so good. Yeah, honestly, you just type in Amazon. And if you guys want to purchase anything on Amazon and you want to support me, you can go to Amazon through my link in the banner of my channel. And it doesn't matter what you buy, as long as you go through my link, I'll get paid for it. So the other day, someone bought a $1,800 grill through my Amazon link, and I got paid like $41 from it. It was awesome. Had nothing to do with reselling, had nothing to do with what was listed in my affiliate store, but they purchased that within 24 hours of clicking on my link, and I got paid for it. So that was dope. So if you guys ever want to buy anything on Amazon, do it through my link. But yeah, I really only get 2 to 4%. So like if you buy something that's $18, like I'll get like 38 cents. But hey, I love it. If everyone does that every day, then I'll be a millionaire. I just got back from 2 months in Greece. Oh, dude, my wife hates you. She wants to go to Greece so bad. It's been her dream since she was small. How can I get one of your stunning stickers? Oh yeah, I got some stickers today. That's my little J-Ride flips. I'm eventually. So I was waiting until I hit 10,000 subscribers on YouTube or TikTok. I think I'll probably hit 10,000 followers on TikTok this month for sure. So once I hit 10,000 on either of those platforms, I'm gonna launch jrideflips.com. I already bought the URL, so don't even try it. But yeah, once I hit 10,000 on either of those platforms, there will be a website where you can purchase these. I'm also going to have IKEA bags that say J-Ride Flips on them, and then all of my affiliate links, and just, easier place for people to reach me, contact me, and, so it'll be a good time. But yeah, I'll probably just, I don't know, I think they're pretty cool. This is what they look like on my Stanley Cup. I think it's pretty cool. I'm obviously, what's it called? Biased because it's me, it's my face. But that leads me to something else, guys. I want you guys to truly be inspired by what I'm about to say, okay? People really struggle on eBay. People really struggle in business in general, and there are a lot of obstacles. And I'm really empathetic toward those people. But I want you guys to understand that you can make money in anything that you set your mind to. The guy who designed this lives in Argentina, doesn't speak any English, but contacted me on Instagram using Google Translate, pitched me on the idea of designing this for me, and charged me $40, and he said in his small town in Argentina, if he can just do that twice a day, he's in the top 1% of his whole city. And he does that all the time. So he doesn't even speak English. It's funny because I thought he spoke really good English, but he was just using Google Translate the whole time. And I'm like, oh, hey, I actually speak Spanish. And then we just started chatting in Spanish after that, which was funny. But it's like, he is hustling. That is the definition of hustle. You reach out to people in a different country that speak a different language through Google Translate, and you make a digital product for them and send it to them and make money. Like, holy cow, guys, what is holding us back? Like, we need to get out there and make some money. It's awesome. But yeah, sorry for that tangent. I feel like I'm going on a lot of tangents today. How long do you wait to delete and list and never list again? How long do you wait to delete a listing and never list it again? I just kind of feel it out. It's usually around the like 200-day mark that I purge inventory. So if something's been in my store for, what is that, 7 months, I usually take it out. IRS code 601.602. It's voluntary. Good luck. Live, yay! Hey, thanks for being here, Nick. I recognize your name, Nick. Where did we talk last? Josh Graff, hey J-Ride. Hey Josh. Josh also has a really good, really underrated channel. There's 90 people in the chat right now. I need at least half of you guys to click away and go to Josh's channel and go subscribe and show him some love. Informative tangent. Hey, thank you. Sometimes I feel bad for going on tangents, but as long as they're informative, we're all good. What's up, sir? Hey, how's it going? Lad, never seen your name. Good to see you here. Josh Galt says J-Ride dancing channel, J-Ride dips. It's all got to rhyme with flips. J-Ride dips, J-Ride rips. I am such an awkward dancer though. And I'm tall for a reseller. I'm tall and skinny, so my body is really awkward. It's kind of funny. Like, I feel like the average reseller on YouTube at least is like 5'5" or 5'6". So like when I meet up with people in real life, they're always like, man, you're really tall. I'm like, thanks. Hi, receivers are hot. My problem is not tech savvy, so testing becomes hard. Yeah, so I can do a video on testing receivers as well. And you can do the majority of your testing in a thrift store. All you do is plug it in and you turn it on and you make sure it stays on. And then, this is some advanced tips, but I bring a screwdriver with me and I unscrew everything, open up the flap, and then I have a decibel. And this just comes, I know nothing about vintage electronics, okay? This is all from YouTube. You can learn eventually. Okay, so I'm eventually going to buy a house in northern Utah. I'm currently in southern Utah. I'm eventually going to buy a house and a warehouse in northern Utah, so I'm going to wait to make my YouTube studio. But eventually I'm going to have a huge plaque that says Masters in Everything YouTube University. I'm a proud college dropout. You can learn everything to life on YouTube. It's awesome. So I just open up that flap and then I have a decibel meter and I just touch all the places that correspond with the buttons on the face of the unit. And then I can test to see which of them work and which of them don't. And there's a few of them on most receivers that notoriously don't work if something fails. And so I just make sure to test those ones first. And boom, if it has above a 4, usually above a 1.6 to a 4.5 decibel, good to go. So I'll do a video on that eventually as well. Don't forget that getting a store subscription saves you around 1% on final value fees. Yep. So that's also something to consider as well. because it definitely, 1% doesn't sound like a lot, but one day I'm going to write a book if I ever become rich and famous. Not, well, I guess on YouTube I will be slightly famous if I ever do become super rich. So, but if I were ever able, holy cow, if I were ever able to get to that point, I would write a book called The Power of 1%. I talk to guys that make millions of dollars a week sending out emails to 800,000 people an hour and having 0.001% of people buying from those. That's all it takes. I know I have a ton of colleagues that did door-to-door sales with me. And if we had 1% of 100 doors say yes, if we knocked 400 doors, we made $2,000 that day. Like, that's how simple it is sometimes to make money. But it's so discouraging for people to get rejected 99% of the time. But if you can get 1% of people to say yes, you can make millions of dollars. With that being said, my sales conversion rate on eBay is currently 1.1%. 1%. 1% of people that actually like click on my items, buy them. So over the last 30 days, I have had 10 million impressions. My click-through rate is 0.3%. So 0.3% of 10 million. Sorry, guys. I know a lot of people aren't numbers people, and I'm going on another tangent, but I think this is valuable information too. So we got 10 million impressions times 0.003. 30,000 people click on my items in 30 days. So that means I get about 1,000 clicks every day. And then only 1.1% buy. Only one. Just 1%. And I made in revenue $1,048 2 days ago, $840 yesterday, and I'm at $486 today. 1%. 1%. So guys, don't get discouraged by 99% of people telling you no. Just find that 1%. Again, huge side tangent. I'm sorry. Hey, J-Ride, maybe a stupid question. On this channel, there are no stupid questions. I am happy to answer the same question over and over and over again, and I'm happy to answer the same question during the same live over and over again. So don't ever feel afraid to ask me a question. But how do you test all the various remotes you buy? With remotes, let's see if I have any non-cleaned ones. Remotes are just so easy to list that I usually have them all listed the same day. So first thing you're gonna do, here's a fan remote by Hampton Bay. Got this for $1 and it should sell for $14 plus shipping. First thing you want to do is open it up. And okay, this isn't a very good example. Give me 1 second, guys. I'll just take you guys with me. A lot of you guys in the comments tell me you like to see my house and my garage, so I'll show you guys here real quick. Here's the garage. Sorry, I went by that super fast. I'm not trying to hide anything. There's the garage. So here's one of the most common remotes that I get. I get like probably 20 of these similar Sony remotes every week. So what you do, first thing you want to do is make sure you open this up. And there's a good possibility that there has been batteries in there for months and months or years and years. And what happens, can't make this up. I just sold a Pioneer remote just now. Oh, $12. So you got this remote here. You want to make sure that there's no battery corrosion. If there is battery corrosion, it's okay. A lot of people are like, oh, it's corroded, game over. That's not the case. Because you can take white vinegar, spritz it in there, take a steel brush, clean it off, and it's almost always still going to work. Next thing you're going to want to do is pop some batteries in there. Then you're going to open up your phone camera like this, just on your smartphone. And then, oh, honestly, let's see if this will work. Let me throw some batteries in here. Let's see if this will work live with my camera on my MacBook. I've never tried this before, so I'm not sure if the same rules apply. Yep. Okay, you guys see that light right there? See that infrared light? Same thing happens when you do it on your phone. So you just take out your phone and you just push it, and then if you see that infrared light on your phone, it works. There is a small possibility that one or two buttons doesn't work, and that's just a risk that I'm willing to take. So I put it up as tested. I sell thousands of them every quarter, and my return rate on remotes is less than 0.5%. And so, yeah, item not as described return rate on remotes is like 0.15%, which is ridiculous. I keep trying to tell you guys, there's so much money to be made in remotes, and no one applies it. So, but yeah, if you guys want to make some money, sell remotes. So yeah. And if I'm going to be completely honest with you, I've stopped testing remotes because they almost always work. Almost all, like, again, I don't test a lot of remotes. I just ship them out and I never get returns. Florida's Unique Adventures with Daryl says, I'm very into the credit card points. I lost so much money points paying with debit cards all those years. Chase and Amex are the best as points can be transferred. Yep. So I do I have the Chase Sapphire that I never use. All I do is use it. So I have access to the portals and combining points. My daily spender is the Chase Unlimited. It gets like 1.5% cash back on everything with three times points in a few different categories. And then I use my Chase business card. And so I just get all those points. I've looked into Amex. And Amex is pretty good too for point stacking and things like that. But I really like Chase, so I stick with Chase. One Foot Flipper says you can point a remote at a lot of digital cameras and it will show purple when you press the buttons. Yep, just as I demonstrated. Thank you. Texas Lady watches One Foot Flipper too. And he says that he's got a video tonight at 8 Central. So everyone go check it out. Do you think that used clothes sell well during Christmas? Absolutely. Yep. Hi, watching from the Philippines. That's what I'm talking about. Thanks for being here. We just sold another remote for $28.26. Can't make it up. Well, I guess I could lie about it, but I'm not. Also, I got a really long message on Instagram. It's a pretty funny one. Let's see. Caleb says he's only here for Scout content. That's what I'm talking about. Scout is my dog. We don't know what she is. She's a little bit of everything. I think her most predominant breed is Collie, followed by Lab, but she also sheds like a German Shepherd. So she's got a little bit of everything. Josh says, tell us about some major failures or obstacles you have overcome. So I talk about this on the podcast. So we recorded on Let's Do Lunch podcast. I talked about my past. I've had a really awesome upbringing. I've been blessed to have really awesome parents, really awesome siblings. We've been poor our whole lives, but like my parents are happily married and they support each other, which is cool. I've always had enough money to eat. Always had enough money to participate in sporting events. I had to, make what we would do is like if I wanted to go to a basketball camp and it was $300, I would come up with $150. My parents would come up with $150, things like that. But I've honestly had a really awesome and blessed life. And we talked about this on the Let's Do Lunch podcast that premieres tomorrow at noon, but we recorded it like 2 days ago. I went on a mission for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I went to Mexico for 2 years and I was hated. I was hated. I got punched in the face several times. I actually broke my nose on what's called my 2-year mission. This guy, he yelled, "The Virgin lives," and just cranked me in the face while I was walking down the street. So I actually have a curve right here in my mission, in my nose. I got stabbed in the hand. I got robbed. And the guy said, "Give me all your money." So I took out my wallet. And then as I was giving it to him, he like stabbed me in the hand and he like ran off without my wallet. So I'm like, whatever. But yeah, and then I would try to talk to people about Jesus, and I'd get spit on, and I'd get cussed out, and I'd get called the son of the devil all the time, hijo de Satanás, things like that. So I was hated for 2 years. And I came home from my mission, and I immediately hopped into door-to-door sales. And I would go to Columbus, Ohio, and I would go to Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I went to Kentucky. I also went to Louisiana, just various parts of the country. And I'd knock on doors. I'd knock on no soliciting neighborhoods to tell people about this awesome deal on pest control. And people would call the cops on me, even though I wasn't breaking the laws. People would spit on me. People would try to punch me. So for 7 years in a row, I was hated. And now I'm doing eBay. Now I'm doing TikTok and YouTube. And on YouTube, I actually don't get as much hate as I thought I would. But on TikTok, oh, dude, stuff is wild over there. And I only have 3,000 followers on TikTok. I just barely started it like 2 weeks ago. So if I ever get to hundreds of thousands or millions of followers on TikTok, which I plan on doing, man, the hate will be real. So I've had to become familiar and okay with being hated and not being liked. And it's led me to one of my core principles as a businessman of understanding that I'm not for everyone. And I talk about this a lot on my channel already, but I want you guys to be comfortable with not being for everyone. There's a lot of people that if I were to cuss and swear right now, 20% or less of people would immediately turn it off and say, I will never purposefully consume JRide content ever again. Then when I get up here on the flip side and I talk about my mission, I talk about Jesus Christ and his effect on me and how he can have effect on you and stuff like that, 20% or less of people will immediately say, I will never consume purposefully a piece of JRide content ever again. And that's okay. I'm not for those people, and people who cuss aren't for other people. And that's don't cater to the people that aren't for you. Be you, get good at what you're good at, and then cater to your audience or to your customers, because there's a lot of hate in the world. There's a lot of negativity, and the people who truly succeed in life aren't negative, and they overcome that negativity and they're positive about it. So when people try to trash on me on TikTok, it's awesome. I love it. So yeah, I don't know. I guess those are the obstacles I've overcome, is just being hated and being okay with it. I don't think remotes are dependent on the algorithm. People need specific ones. Exactly. So a lot of my sales are remotes for VCR players that are no longer made or manufactured. And the remote is definitely no longer manufactured. So a lot of times, I'll sell a remote and I'll get a note in the description from an old home saying, our resident Joe will only watch TV and only watch Winnie the Pooh on this Panasonic VCR player, and we cannot find the remote anywhere else. We would love it if you could ship it promptly. So there goes for that. Okay, guys, I need to get going soon. I'll go for about 10 more minutes. Let me see where my in-laws are on my Stalker app, so I can see if I need to pick up what is your wife's grandma to you? Is she my grandma-in-law? Whatever. I need to go pick up my grandma-in-law in a couple minutes. So I'll go through a few more questions. A rural squirrel. Hey, what's up? What kind of cameras are you using for your eBay photos? Boom. My iPhone 14. And I'm going to make a video on how to completely run your eBay business without a computer, completely through your phone. A lot of people are in the camp that taking pictures with a camera and then using a wire or airdrop to a computer and then doing your listings there is faster. And I completely wholeheartedly disagree. I list 25 items an hour with my cell phone. I don't understand how breaking it up into multiple processes is faster. So I do my listings and my photos at the same time. This, for example, I would type into eBay RM-U185. Let's say 18 of them pull up, and then 16 of them, so 18 are currently available. I filter to sold. 16 of them have sold. There's a reason why they have sold. So I click on the one that I think is best, and then I copy it. And then I take photos, And if I don't think that the title is optimized, I make some changes, but I rarely do. And then I take photos and I list a remote in 48 seconds. And I do that. Like, honestly, if you put 48 remotes in front of me, I would get them listed in an hour. In full confidence. So I don't know why people take photos with a camera and then upload them to the computer and then do the listing on the computer. It just doesn't make any sense to me. But if you do that, kudos to you. If you're really fast at it and it works for you and your business, like I've said over and over again, what works for me might not work for you, and you got to measure up what I say against what others say. But yeah, especially as a millennial and especially with technology, the way that it's advancing, I don't know why people don't use their phones for eBay. Hey, J-Ride and all. Hey, thanks for being here. Let's do lunch. Here to hit the like, say hi, and support Jake. Hey, everyone. Okay, I'm going to get off right now, okay? So there's 100 people here. Everyone go follow Let's Do Lunch podcast if you haven't already. Tomorrow at noon Central, they will be releasing a podcast featuring J-Ride Flips. So everyone, thanks for coming. I appreciate you all being here. There's 100 people live right now. That's such a blessing. Thank you guys for showing up and supporting me. You guys have no idea what it means to me. I'm not an emotional person. And for some reason, the only thing that makes me emotional is my wife and YouTube. So thanks everyone for being here. Everyone, please go over to the Let's Do Lunch podcast, subscribe to them, and then look forward to the podcast tomorrow. Thank you guys so much for being here. I love you guys.